Is this how we can fix the cameos in Mortal Kombat 1? Let's find out. Khaos Reigns did nothing to help Mortal Kombat 1. So it's been about a month now since the release of the Khaos Reigns Expansion pack and the 3 DLC characters that launched with it, Cyrax, Noob Saibot, and Sector. But before we get to that, the like button is feeling kinda lonely and would like some attention. So be a dear and hit that real quick. I've also got a link to my Discord in the description, so check that out. And we all knew that there was gonna be a bump in players, and there was. But it looks like that bump did not last very long. It already fell below Mortal Kombat 11 again. Now, if you look at the Steam charts, this is today, October 31st at 10 a.m. and Mortal Kombat 1 has around 1,600 players online at the moment. But what might shock you? What you might notice is that Mortal Kombat 11, the last game in the series, has over 3,000 players. So the last game has more than half the players of the current game. Yeah. You know, it's actually impressive just how bad Mortal Kombat 1 is doing. And I know Steam charts does not encompass the entire player base, but it's a pretty good foundation to base this on because the likelihood is Mortal Kombat 1 is performing similarly on the rest of the platforms as well. We can then take a look at Street Fighter and Tekken on the Steam charts, and the new games in each of those series has multiple thousands more players online than the previous game. So it's really just in Mortal Kombat that the fan base is just not satisfied whatsoever with the most recent game. It could be a lot of things that contribute to that, but I think it can be boiled down to 2 things. And if they fix these 2 things, the game could end up not seeing, you know, Street Fighter 6 or Tekken 8 numbers, but it could at least have most of the people who went back to Mortal Kombat 11, they could probably come back. But really, all NetherRealm has to do is break down the cameos so that they're not so busted and be reasonable with the prices of the items in the premium store. My idea with the cameos, and you can think what you want about that, this is just my idea, but I don't think that they even need to take the cameos away completely. Personally, I would prefer that, but I don't think that would be practical since they built the entire game around cameos. But they do need to rework the cameos in a way similar to how assists work in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Most cameo moves should just be combo extenders and projectiles. If you have a projectile that returns like Serena's, then that should be a summon, not an ambush like Chameleon has, where you can throw the projectile and then you can move in. That shit is dumb. And if you're gonna make a move that powerful into an ambush cameo, then it needs to take more resources because you shouldn't be able to just spam something like that. Make it take the entire cameo bar and make it take like 20 seconds or more to refill, like with Mavado's Mine. All the BS stuff that lets people do things like, for example, Johnny Cage's Shadow Kick and then calling Kano knives or striker grenades, things like that have to go. Things like that make the game real stupid and just not fun to play. It's not impressive or quote unquote high level. That shit is just dumb and I cannot take it seriously anytime that I play someone like that because it's just dumb. It doesn't feel like I actually lost to someone better than me because it feels more like I'm going up against a cheat code or something. Something that does not belong in the game. I've played people before where they can't touch me and I don't even do anything that broken, but then they switch to a broken cameo like Kung Lao or something like that, and all of a sudden I can't beat them, and it's all because of the cameo. And it's not just that these cameo moves are broken, they also recover quickly enough that they can be spammed repeatedly even in the same round. So each cameo character should have like 2 combo extenders, 1 projectile. You know, honestly, I think Mavado is a really good model for how the cameos should work. He's got 2 combo extenders and 1 gimmick move, which is the Mine. And like I said, the Mine takes the entire cameo bar, and it's a pretty strong move, but it's also avoidable, and it takes a long time to recover. Usually when I'm playing with Mavado, I only ever get to use the Mine once per round, and that's because I'm also using the combo extenders, which makes it take even longer before I can use the Mine again. Also, you shouldn't be able to use cameos to break armor, and they shouldn't do chip damage either. Take Serena for example. I like Serena. I don't think she's super broken, and one thing I did enjoy was her meter drain, but that should not take half a bar. her meter drain could be like her gimmick move that takes the entire cameo bar, because it is a really strong move when you use it properly. I mean, having someone in the corner and then comboing them, and then they're about to build enough meter to break the combo, but then out comes Serena with the meter drain and all of a sudden they get KO'd because they couldn't combo break. I've done that to so many people when I used to play Serena regularly, and boy did it feel good. But really, you should not be able to do that. Something like that should be categorized as like a gimmick cameo move, and all gimmick cameo moves should take the entire cameo bar and should recover very slowly, to the point that you probably should only be able to use them once and maybe twice per round. I mean, it does not seem like NRS had any plan going into how they were going to implement assists in this game. It all feels random, and that's why it's so unbalanced, and it's why nobody likes cameos, and it's why Mortal Kombat 11 still gets more players than Mortal Kombat 1 even over a year later. You know, even after the super big expansion pack that everyone was excited about, like, it didn't do anything. You need to have a plan when you do something like this. So my plan: each cameo should have 2 combo extenders that work like Mavados, and that the opponent has to be in a juggle state. That's good for one other reason as well. You know, I remember everybody thought Mavado was going to be busted in the gameplay trailer when he was first revealed, because all of his moves, they all look like ambush cameos. But they were not ambush cameos at all. They can only be used in specific situations, so this prevents them from being abused. An example of what I mean by gimmick moves, aside from the ones already mentioned, is like Sub-Zero's armor, Serena's meter drain, Jax's unblockable ground pound. Moves like Kung Lao's low hat or Kano's throwing knives should just be turned into summon projectiles, where you can't move while they're doing it. Kano's barrel roll and I-beam could either be a projectile or a combo extender, but you should not be able to hold them so you can move in. Under no circumstances should this be something that's doable in the game. An unblockable or a low into an overhead, that's not impressive. That's not high level. When I see someone do that, I don't think to myself, wow, that guy is so good. I think to myself, wow, this dude is a scrub, and he wouldn't get anywhere without these cheap tricks. It's also super unbalanced in that it's a super easy thing to do, these unblockable and low overhead setups. It's so easy to do them, but they're so difficult to block. So it takes skill and more often than not luck to defend against it, but it takes no skill to do it, and that's what's really annoying about things like this. The too long didn't read basically is this: rework the cameos. Fuck everything that you've done so far. If it was good, your player base would not be going back to Mortal Kombat 11. Rework the cameos, model every single one of them after Mavado, where the combo extenders only work during juggle states. Fuck all the ambush cameos, get rid of them. Those are what are killing the game. Special cameo moves with different properties like Serena's meter drain, Mavado's mine, Sub-Zero's armor, Frost's tracking freeze, enhanced low hat should take the full cameo bar and recover so slowly that they could only be used once or twice per round. That's going to be it for this video. I also hope you enjoy the East 10 Nordics gameplay footage. I've been playing the hell out of this game lately. You know, Nihon Falcom needs to hurry up and re-release East 7 on the Switch as soon as possible. That was a big game on the PSP. I played the shit out of it on the PSP. They gotta bring it back. They could release it on the Switch or on the Switch 2. I don't care. I'm gonna be getting it either way if they do. The game is amazing. And if you haven't played East 8, Lacrimosa of Donna, what the hell have you been doing with your life? That's probably the best action RPG that I've ever played. Oh yeah, one last thing. Vote Donald Trump. It's the easiest election choice I've ever seen. You either vote for the guy who gave you a good economy, easy to find jobs, a secure border, that would be Donald Trump, or you vote for the same people that have overseen the disaster of the last 4 years, where all the good that Donald Trump did when he was president got reversed. And instead of a good economy, cheap groceries, lower rent, lower gas prices, instead of all of that, you get a bad economy, expensive groceries, higher rent, higher gas prices, and on top of that, you also get politicians who want to cut off your kids' genitals and chemically castrate them because who knows why. If it bothers you that I'm including this in this video, fuck you. I'm Switch Played, done.